This is The Move, and I'm Jay. It's been a while since I've done this show, so let's just get into it. 5 interesting aspects of being black. Quick precursor. I hate identity politics. I don't think the color of your skin entitles you to shit. Dr. King had it right. It's about the content of character and what soul resides in the shell that is the human body. But that is a perfect world. What we live in is the real world, where looks do matter. So, as a black man that lives in what is on paper a predominantly black town, let's talk about what I've observed. The soft bigotry of low expectations. This very summer, I participated in a foods program run by the township, where the job was filling out paperwork and handing out meals. I was actually curious why this wasn't something the counselors could do for the first week. It didn't take long to figure out why not. An incident requiring Brother Muhammad, who was the adult on site, to leave the counselors with the kids in the building had occurred, while me and my partner, shout out to Eli, were in the kitchen. All we heard was this thunderous clap. I look out and it's the head counselor slapping the shit out of the kids' hands. And it took less than 5 minutes before the kids themselves were slapping each other and running around looking like complete savages. After I let my blood stop boiling, and that took a week, I asked the counselor that started it a very simple question. Why? And she replied that it was what the kids wanted to do, which is honestly one of the most honest and dumbest answers I've ever heard in my life. This particular counselor is in college to become a child advocate, and when asked how does allowing children to do whatever they want jive with being a child advocate, you can imagine the attitude that was sent my way in return. This is a college student. Counselors are of high school age, yet can't be leaned on to file simple paperwork. The soft bigotry of low expectations has been allowed to fester in our communities, handicapping our youths before they even get a chance to get going. The culture. Who's running this thing? Here's a hint. Black people make up less than a quarter of the population, yet have consistently been at the forefront of American popular culture. And the main consumer and driver of American popular culture isn't less than a quarter of the populace. So it isn't black people making other black people famous. The most notable are propped up because ignorance and pettiness are entertaining. And for a perfect example, let's look no further than Irvington's very own Fat Boy.
Get Mama! Toto Santi!
Get Mama Paul! Kaka shit! Yo, wait. Top foot fella! Top fella! Kaka, tu não mostra uma patada! Top foot fella!
I'm mad I laughed at that. Long and short is that the culture has never been ours and never will be. Negativity. So that's a great way to segue into a word that I've been hearing a lot lately. I was even told to pack up and get out of my hometown because someone told me that I was being negative, pointing out that a Walgreens wouldn't provide decent jobs for the residents. I guess that is negativity, but it's not an inaccurate observation. In my hometown, there has been a ton of development, and as previously stated, I love it. My major problem with gentrification, though, isn't prettying up the place. It's the lack of economic opportunity for the residents in poverty that gets my goat. I genuinely believe there's a way to do both, but to even breach the topic of poverty is to be seen as a negative party pooper. Oh well, negativity it is, because we can't all fart rainbows as the world crumbles around us. This is actually a perfect segue into the next aspect, which is aesthetic pride. I've never made it a secret that I have a strong dislike for weed. It's expensive, it stinks, it's impossible to grab her hair at the scalp to get a good fistful during a proper stroke, but I digress. The weave symbolizes a sentiment that is overflowing throughout not just the black community, but the American populace as a whole. And that is the idea that as long as it looks good, it's fine. And that's what I call aesthetic pride. It just has to look good. It doesn't matter what it actually does. It doesn't matter if the girl has an STD. If she looks good, smash time. It doesn't matter if he has 5 kids by 7 women. He looks good, so it's smash time. It doesn't matter if the town already has 3 pharmacies and endless restaurants. This building is new and nice. It doesn't matter that the drug war destroys families and in no way adds to the quality of life, yet it makes people feel safe to have police militarized. It doesn't matter that public schools were sabotaged to make way for charters. School choice sounds like a good concept. Do you see my point? Earlier in the video, I said looks matter, and now I'm saying they matter too much when function suffers. The person that eats a banana every day is more likely to be healthier than the person that eats a bag of hot Cheetos every day. Collectively, we've been eating Cheetos for far too long. This video is getting a little lengthy, so let's get through the last interesting aspect, which is the education line. Is it weird that when I hear someone say go to school, I hear go into debt? School is just like the gym. It doesn't matter that you go, it matters what you do there. Now, I'm not saying that getting an education isn't supposed to be a priority. What I am saying is that just getting your education isn't enough. You have to have a game plan for what lies beyond the piece of paper you look to obtain. Hell, in many cases, you don't even need the piece of paper. If you know how to make friends, you can get a hookup where you're making over $100,000 before the end of your sophomore year. Yet, in the Black community, the sentiment seems to be just going to school will somehow lead you to a prosperous life, when that simply isn't the case. When a kid that came up in urban schools is in college for child advocacy thinks it's okay to let children slap each other, then there is clearly a glitch somewhere in the process. Well, that's it. Those are my 5 interesting aspects to being Black. I'll be accepting all calls of Coon and Uncle Tom in the comments. Like the video or hate it, click the corresponding thumb. And on the off chance you're liking the content, hit that subscribe button. That being said, this was a blast, you're kinda awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Love.